artists, today we are going to be making a pumpkin art that is inspired by the pumpkin art of an artist named Yayoi Kusama. She is a Japanese artist and she's still alive today. So we're going to learn a little bit about her, and then we are going to make a pumpkin that looks like this. Today we will make the pumpkin, and next time we will do the background for our pumpkin. This is Yayoi Kusama. She is a Japanese artist and she's still alive this year in 2020. She began painting at age 10, but her mother discouraged her. She didn't want her to paint. She told her she would just have to grow up and marry someone rich, but Yayoi knew that she wanted to grow up and be an artist. She was part of the pop art movement. You can see that the pop art movement uses lots of bright colors, simple shapes, and she loved to use dots. Here is some of her amazing artwork. And here's another cool piece of artwork that she did. It's life-size, so you could walk amongst those giant inflatable things. This is the artwork that we are going to be looking at today. It's a very famous piece of artwork by her that shows pumpkins. We are going to be creating some pumpkins that have dots like hers and that have a geometric background like hers. So let's get started. All right, as we draw these Yayoi Kusama pumpkins, you are going to be using a pencil. I'm going to use a sharpie so that you can see it a little bit better. And we're going to start at the top with the stem. So you're going to go about 2 inches down and make a little dot. And then you're going to make a small flat U. And you're going to go down to the bottom of your page, the very bottom, and you're going to do the same thing. So this is where our stem is going to sit. So now you're going to draw a curved line up to make your pumpkin stem. And remember that we can make it 3D by making a super flat oval like this. Once you've got your stem, we're going to draw ours in her style, which is a little bit more wavy than your average pumpkin. So we're going to take our marker, in my case, and we're going to go all the way out, but we're going to make a wave before we meet up with this line at the bottom. So let's see how that looks. Everyone's is going to look different, so it's okay if yours doesn't look just like mine. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go out pretty far. We want this to be a pretty big pumpkin. In, down, like some lumpy lumps there. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to make some inside lines, and they're going to mirror or be parallel to the same as the outside lines. So we're going to start maybe right by our stem, and we'll go out and down, and we'll do the same thing on the other side so that they look sort of symmetrical. And then we'll do one last section in the middle. So we'll do another one here, and we'll meet up with the two sides of our U that we drew like this. Once you've done yours with pencil and you're satisfied with it, you can go ahead and trace yours with a Sharpie also, and then we're going to start making our dots. We're going to be making our dots with black paint and a Q-tip, so it's going to be super easy and fun. If you want to make yours look a little bit more like hers, then in the center of each section of the pumpkin, you're going to make them a little bit larger. And the way you can do that with a Q-tip is just dip in, and then instead of doing just a plain simple dot, you can use it as a little paintbrush. And you don't even need to dip every time. You can just go down, because that little Q-tip holds quite a bit of paint. You want them to be pretty round dots. Our pumpkin is an organic shape, which means that it's not a geometric shape like a square or a triangle, but it has loose, wavy edges, and that's really what she liked to use. Now that I have my bigger dots down the middle, I'm going to go ahead and make littler dots on the side, and I'm going to make them a little bit wavy so they follow this line. So I'm just going to go right next to this line. And on the other side also. In this section, I just fit 3 lines of dots. You want to try to have at least 3 in each section, but if you can fit more lines, that's okay. And I could even do some lines here.
of dots towards the bottom where it's a little wider. So let's go ahead and fill in our whole pumpkin with those dots. All right, your pumpkin looks amazing. Notice that I was pretty careful. Even though it looked like I was going fast, I was actually going very slow, so take your time. Try not to make the dots overlap. I accidentally did in a couple spots, and you will too, and that's okay. But do your best to keep those dots independent from each other. Next week, we're going to make our background. Good work.